What is going on, y'all? Hope y'all had a great week. It is Friday, my favorite day of the weekdays. um, and it's the day that I go get some food, so I'm excited. I've been looking forward to it the entire week. This time we're gonna stay in Round Rock. I know last time we were in Austin, sort of like north-ish Austin, in this like Korean town. This time we're gonna stay here. It's gonna be Ethiopian food. I haven't really had African food. I've had some Moroccan food, but it wasn't necessarily traditional. So I don't know if I would consider it or not. This time it's Ethiopian and pretty excited. I've seen a lot of videos and it looks really good. So I'm super excited. So without further ado, I will see you guys. Okay, I actually lied. It's not in Round Rock. I thought it was because it's so close. It's like 10 minutes ish away. It's actually in Pflugerville, so I don't even know the way that Round Rock is shaped, to be honest. I'm going to have to figure that one out. But it's in Pflugerville, and it's about 10 minutes away. So I'll see you guys there. Okay, guys, so forgot to press the button on my phone to record my audio, but here's me going into the place. It's called Taste of Ethiopia. Really close by, was really excited to try it out. So I asked the guy, I didn't really know what to get. He was really nice to me and very informative, and he gave me his recommendations on his favorites. So there, what he's pouring up, it's a chicken dish. It's a chicken thigh and a chicken drumstick. It's the national dish of Ethiopia, I believe is what he said. And there, where he's serving there, that's a lamb with some roasted vegetables. He was mentioning how it was super, super spicy. So I was like, okay, let's see what it's about. He gave me on the side a bunch of the rolls there. The way he mentioned the rolls, it was as if it were bread, just really fluffy bread. And I asked him if it was similar to like a tortilla and should I eat it the same way? And he said, yeah, it's just all with your hands. So I was like, okay. They didn't even bring any silverware. So I was like, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it. Once I unrolled it, I was excited. I was like, oh, okay. Let's see what this is about. Let's see what it's about. Didn't really know if I was supposed to like fold it in half and then use it as a tortilla or how, but wanted to try it on its own first, see what that was like. Little fly there. And it was good. I mean, it tasted breadishy, like yeasty. Not sure what it's made out of, but it had that like fermented taste to it. Um, wouldn't necessarily eat it on its own again, but I could see how it could be useful, like how a tortilla is. I don't typically eat tortillas on its own either. But the way he was mentioning this, he said it's super spicy. So I was like, all right, I was mentally preparing myself for it because I love spicy food, but I can't tolerate it too well. Had a couple bites. I was like, okay, it's spicy, but it's nothing for me to, like go start crying and needing some like ice cream or something. It was real good. It was a good first bite. And after those first bites, I was like, okay, this is good. Let me just try out the lamb on its own without that expectation of spicy. So that's what I wanted to do. Wanted to try it with just everything put together. So went in, tried to grab as much as I could with the bread, and I went for that bite again. The lamb itself, it was good. Obviously, it had really good spice to it. It had good flavor to it, not just the spiciness, along with the vegetables in it. But I wouldn't say it was the most tender lamb I've ever had in my life. There, I'm just pouring or I'm dipping that bread into the chicken sauce to see what the difference in like spiciness, because on this one he didn't say it was spicy. And when I had the that bite right there, I was like, okay, it's not spicy. It was like citrusy. I'm not sure if citrusy or maybe like acidic. And I really liked it. I don't know. I just really liked that sauce over the other one. So once I had that, I was like, all right, gotta try out the chicken, see what the chicken's like. I was nervous because with chicken it can get real dry, but it was thighs. It was a thigh and drumstick, so it has a lot of fat to it, so it's not, or the skin is able to protect it from drying out too much. So I wasn't, too scared of it being dry, and it wasn't. It was pretty good. I had a bite and the chicken was good. It was really tender to the point where I barely needed to really bite it. I was just getting that flavor of the sauce, and it was just really good. Really good. I really enjoyed it. I want to know how to make that sauce if anyone knows, because wow, it was too good. But yeah, no, I was wanting to try out African food just because of its different, and I might start yapping a little bit, sorry. um, but yeah, I just wanted to try out African food because, a lot of food has been influenced by the African culture, the African cuisine, even Mexican food, right? Where you don't really see too many Africans in Mexico, but menudo, which is a Spanish or a Mexican dish, um, was influenced by a African dish, and it's a stew, and it was just used based off of the leftover meat, or the cuts of a cow that no one wanted, right? So it was given to the slaves, and as slaves, they try to make the most out of it, make the stews, they had the spices to it. And I'm not sure what the dish is called in like the African version of menudo, but it's the same thing, right? So you see that influence in American food, like Cajun food, a lot of that Southern food that you see, the soul food. It's all inspired or influenced by African food. So I wanted to try it out, right? Just wanted to try out, not, I wouldn't say necessarily straight from the source, but like more of an origin of food when it comes to this. And I was pleasantly surprised, I didn't know what to expect, but it was good. I wasn't expecting anything that was too spicy. I was expecting rich flavor, which is exactly what I got from the lamb and the chicken. The sauces, both of them, both the chicken and the lamb sauce, were really good. It was, you can tell that the owner just, this is, I'm not too sure if it's just like a single restaurant or if they have a chain of it, but the owner was there and she asked me a couple times what I thought about the food, if I liked it, that it was coming. And you can see there the chicken, like it's, you probably can't see how juicy it was, but it was juicy, like it was really good. It wasn't the juiciest of chicken, but it was definitely really good, really tender, really enjoyed it. And you can tell that they really cared about the food and what they were preparing. And I love the presentation on it too, the way that it was set up. I'm not too familiar with Ethiopian culture, but I'm assuming the big plate, the sticks, the big um, bowl that was being used, I'm assuming is traditional in that sense where you get to eat from there, and it was a really cool experience, eating with my hands like that. I usually don't go to a restaurant and use my hands. I typically use, your forks, your knives, your spoons or whatever. So this was a really cool experience. It was different for me and I really enjoyed it. The entire restaurant, although small, really felt as if I were in Ethiopia, or at least what I would imagine it feel to be in Ethiopia. And it really just inspired me to want to go and visit an African country. I mean, like Ethiopia, I wonder how different the food is there versus what I tried here. Probably similar to Mexican food in the States versus Mexican food in Mexico. But yeah, not trying to go on to a big tangent here, but I believe food is one of the best ways to learn someone's culture or a country's culture. And that's one of the reasons why I want to go visit, and try to see as many countries as I can and try out as much local food as I possibly can. I can only imagine how much better this would taste if I'm in that country. So that's the whole plan. I've gone to a couple of countries already and tried out the food. Never thought about recording myself, or maybe I did think about it, but I was too nervous or didn't think that I would be someone to be able to record and be interesting. And I mean, I might not be interesting, and that's okay. But got over that and just doing it now. So hopefully, I get to take you guys along into those trips whenever I do go and try out these foods in the local country. But for now, we get Austin. That's what we get, and we will not complain. Still exploring all the different food here. I'm so happy that they have such a diverse amount of food, right? Where in one corner I can have there's a Korean town and I can try a bunch of different Korean food, or an Asian square and have Japanese food or Chinese food. There goes the waiter again, just asking if everything was good. Very nice guy. He just kept making sure, hey, like, are you liking it? Do you um, need anything else? What are your thoughts? And just it was really nice vibe in there, and you can tell that they cared about what they were serving, and really nice. Definitely want to go again. That's what I told him. I was like, hey man, I gotta come back and order some more food. And he started explaining to me that a lot of this food is shared, which I can see, but I didn't have anyone to share this food with. It was all on my own, so I had to eat all of it, which cannot be complaining. Here I'm like, okay, I wonder if I should just be using the one on the plate, like the bread on the plate, versus the one that I got on the side, because eventually I'm gonna have to eat the one on the plate too, and I don't want to get too full. So I started to brew some ideas on how to do it, but couldn't get over this chicken, man. This chicken was too good. I wish they could have just served me so much more. That sauce, it's just, I don't know. I could maybe not bathe in it, but soak in it. I don't know. It was just so good. It was so good. The chicken is just bathing and just waiting for someone to just take that over and bite into it with the sauce. Oh, it was too good. It was too good. It put a big, bright, saucy smile on my face every time I took a bite out of it. Really enjoyed it. Couldn't stop looking at it, man. I was looking at it like I was in love, man. I was only getting way. I was only being more. I was getting more sad the more that I was eating it because I knew it was gone. It was closer to being done, so it was a sad, it was a bittersweet moment every bite I took, but it was definitely enjoyable. The place wasn't too busy either, so with it being small, I was worried that it would be really crowded, and it wasn't. The waiter told me that typically it does get full on Saturdays, more so than any other day. So I guess I just picked the right time coming in on a Friday afternoon and getting the food where not too many people were there. But back to this food. Keep going on these like side tangents. I decided like, all right, I tried the chicken, I tried the lamb. Let's try it together. Got some of the roasted vegetables with the lamb. It was real good. As I said there, you could probably read my lips there. It was really, really good. I was just trying to figure out what I could do here. Okay, so once I finished the food, what I tried to do was make a burrito out of it because I thought, hey, it's just a really big tortilla and I can finish it quicker. But did not work. I think the bread was a little too thin for me to be able to do so. So it was a little hard, ripped all up, but this is me with it all finished. It was so good. I wanted more, but my stomach said no. um, but yeah, overall the food. So let's talk about the bread itself, that fluffy bread. On its own, honestly, I'd have to keep it in that sort of C range where it's like a 7, 7.5. When it comes to the lamb, the way the waiter talked about it being spicy, I was expecting a different sort of flavor from it. But once I got used to the flavor, the actual taste and how rich it felt in my mouth was, I would give it probably like a 8.2, so a solid B. The lamb itself, it wasn't as tender as I would have wanted it to be, but it wasn't gamey, and a lot of times it gets really gamey. So I really like that, so that's why I'm giving it that 8.2. When it comes to the sauce on the chicken, man, oh man, that was my favorite thing. I would give it a 10, but I, it didn't blow my socks off, so I can't give it a 10. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. So it's a good A. That's a good A. The chicken was good. It was tender. It was juicy. Loved the skin on it. It was perfect. So I'm gonna give that a 9 as well. So I think overall, and especially with the bread, once it soaked up all of that flavor from the sauces and the meat, it tasted so good. It was so good. It did get a little soggy though, but I think that was my fault. But solid B overall. Towards the end here, the guy convinced me to get coffee. I'm not a coffee addict, but or I don't drink coffee at all, but he told me that it was really good, so I was like, okay, let's try it out. I tried it out on its own first without any sugar or anything, just to see what it would taste like. I'm not a big coffee person. Last time I drank coffee, it was like Vietnamese coffee, and it had me crazy for the entire day. I couldn't stop moving. So once I tried it, I was expecting it to be super bitter, as it was just black coffee, and it had a little cinnamon taste to it, which was actually pretty refreshing. I've had Cuban coffee in Cuba, and the way that they make it, honestly, I couldn't tell you, but they made it to where it's not so bitter either, which I really liked. And this one was very similar, just a lot more cinnamony. Cinnamony. I don't know if that's the word, but yeah. So it didn't taste too bad. I wanted to add some sugar to it though, just to kind of get a different taste profile, see if it changed anything from it. So I just gave it a little teaspoon on it, swirled around the spoon, wanted to make sure that I got a good taste of it, not just pure sugar, because would have crashed out from that. And once I tasted here, I was expecting it to, taste the same, but it really like changed the flavor on it. It highlighted that cinnamony taste on it. Um, and it made it really good. I'm not a big coffee drinker, so I couldn't tell you what the difference is between Ethiopian coffee and Cuban coffee and all the different type of coffee, but it had a good flavor to it. I would definitely drink it again if I was big on caffeine. Um, I was worried though. It was 7 p.m. when I was drinking it, and thought that I wouldn't be able to go to sleep, so didn't want to drink too much. Just had that cup for myself. Really enjoyed it. Wanted to keep going, but I knew that it would do me wrong if I kept going there. Okay, so overall experience at Taste of Ethiopia, I think the staff was really friendly, really cool. He helped me out, didn't know what to order, how to pronounce a lot of the food, or what goes well together. Helped me out a ton. Food was awesome. It came out real quick too, which, like it's always appreciated when you don't have to wait too long. All of the food was good, the coffee was good, and here at the end, I was really curious about trying out some of their desserts just because I'm not familiar with any of it. And I decided to, after the waiter convincing me to try something out, um, I did. I'm not entirely sure if it's Ethiopian or not, but here I am, um, trying it out, and this is the end of my voiceover. Okay, okay, so I ended up getting the baklava. It's walnuts and honey. I don't know if I've ever had any before, so kind of excited. It's like different layers, so I want to give that a try. Sorry, I didn't mean to show you guys. Kind of cut it already, but I wanted to see. It's a little hard. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I mean, it tastes exactly like what it looks like. Where it's kind of like, I don't know if this is bad to say, but it's like croissant bread type, like really flaky, mm. With walnuts. I mean, there's like different layers. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I wonder if I could just eat this with my hands. I feel like it's easier. Much easier. I just washed my hands too, but I can always do that. I'm trying to think if I've had it before, but Yeah, I'm just confusing it for like like a bread pastry that I've had before. The honey is really good. It's a different type of sweetness. It's not overly sweet. Like, probably someone that doesn't like sugar or doesn't like sweet, it might be too sweet for them. But if you're like a sweet addict, it doesn't feel like a crazy amount of sweetness. I used to be a sweet addict. I'm recovering, recovering sweet addict. But the walnuts are really good, crunchy. That's the crunch to the flakiness. That's really good. I would have paired rare with the coffee, but I'm not drinking no more coffee. I already feel it. Can't be doing that. My eyes are way too up, or way too away now, way too open. So I'm gonna have to calm it down with like some boba. So I will see you guys once I get my boba. But this was really good, really good. And with that, wraps up another day. Got some boba just to finish everything off. I got a mango berry with some aloe vera, and it's only 50% sugar. Should have gone for 30. I don't know. Maybe the dessert was a little more sugary than what I thought because I could feel the sugar in this. But yeah, again, really appreciate y'all watching. I'm just having fun doing this. If you guys have any recommendations on where to go or what you guys want to see, just let me know what y'all think. Until next Friday, where am I gonna go? I'm not too sure. I want to try a different type of food. Just a variety. I know I had Asian food 2 times in a row, and this time I had some African food. So maybe some Latin American food. I'm not too sure exactly where yet, but that's what I get to do the whole week. Just look at places and figure out where to go for Friday. So again, appreciate y'all watching. I know I had to do a voiceover here, but hey, uh, we're learning together. We're learning together. Hopefully next time I actually get the voice as I'm talking while I'm eating. But yeah, it's super fun. I'm enjoying this. And yeah, just let me know what y'all think.